Welcome to another episode of Girl Talk and Chill, the safe space for Black women, hosted by Mese and Autumn.
In this podcast, we kiki and hold a safe space to discuss what it's like to be a millennial Black woman, finding our ultimate circle of friends,
maintaining our mental health, dating after divorce, and navigating our journey of self-discovery. Let's get into it. The topic for today, where we are talking about not necessarily just ours, but marriage and divorce.
Yes, for those of you that don't know, Jamise and I have both been married and divorced, and are currently single.
And thriving, honey. Thriving.
Single and thriving, period. Say that, friend. Thriving in it, okay?
Yes, living a great single life. But yeah, so how did you meet your ex-husband?
So this is gonna sound worse than it actually is.
Here we go.
Already with the BS. So I met my ex-husband at the casino. My cousin had called me and she was like, just having a really bad day. And she was like, how about me and you and one of our homegirls go to the casino, have a couple of drinks? Because I don't gamble. I suck at gambling, but love the drinks at all casinos. They are on point. Okay. They're heavy pourers. So I'm like, bet, come swoop me. Let's make it a thing. So we walk into the casino and I immediately see this hella fine, light-skinned dude sitting at one of the machines, and he's like zoned in. He sees nothing around him, just a machine. So I see him. We keep on walking, having our drinks, whatever. I see him walking by maybe like an hour and a half later. We done had a couple of drinks, kikiing, we feeling good. My cousin immediately like, hey, you with the braids. He right? So he comes over, he's chopping it up with all three of us. He buys all three of us drinks. Like we're doing a group thing. We're having a good time. He asks for all three of our numbers and proceeds to like be texting and chopping it up with all three of us, or maybe like two of us, like me and my cousin specifically. But I'm just on some like homegirl shit, like homegirl vibes, because like we met as a group. He talking to us as a group, so we a group. Then one day because he lived in a different city. You know, he lived in Wichita. We did not live there. We didn't live there at the time. So one day we're going to the club in Wichita and she hits him up and is like, hey, we're in town. Do you mind if we come, chop it up with you for a little bit while we're in town, like before or after the club? He's like, oh yeah, cool. So we go, some of us and some of our other cousins, we go over there. And since, they had talked about us coming over there, she was sitting, talking to him, chopping it up. And I'm just laughing, kikiing with, the rest of our family, whatever. Later, like we leave. And then later that week, he hits me up and is like, he called me and he was like, I really enjoy talking to you. I really enjoy talking to your cousin. She's cool, but I really only see her as a friend, but I'm trying to like take me and you to the next level. I want to date you. And I was like, I feel like you should express that to her, and make sure that you guys are on the same page, because I'm never gonna, do anything trifling to my cousin. Like if she hadn't expressed to me that she had feelings or nothing like that, it was just like real casual, chop it up. So I was actually at her house when this happened. So he immediately called her, talked to her, and then she came in the other room where me and one of our other friends was, and she was like, that guy that we met at the casino, blah blah blah, he's into you, like we've never done anything crazy, so it's whatever. If you want to go for it, go for it. So he asked me out on a date, and then we got a divorce 11 years later.
Not in and the rest is history. We got married. Not yeah, we went on a date and they get 11 years later we were done. We were signing
That's
divorce papers.
that's the way that it went down. I mean, a lot of things happened in between there, but that's how we met, and it was. Sometimes it kind of sounds trifling, like you and your cousin was dating the same nigga. No, we were not. We were not.
That didn't even really stand out to me. The part that tripped me out is that he had the nerve to be texting everybody. Like, yo, that's weird to me, but
That's what my sister was saying, the same thing, but I was just like, we were all friends. Like, I didn't think anything of it, true Aquarius energy, because
yeah.
I'm just like, oh, we're all friends. It's not a thing, blah, 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 blah. But he's literally like, when we talked about it like years later, he's like, no, I knew from the minute that your cousin called me over that like I was trying to get at you. Like I knew from immediate that second. I'm like, why did you get everybody's number? Why you didn't just pop at me then? He's like, you know how women are. Like I didn't want anybody to feel any no type of way about me or feel like I was dissing them or disrespecting them. So I just felt like it was better if like I just, buy everybody drinks, treat everybody equal. So everybody likes me, but I'm really trying to get at you.
I mean, he was buying everyone drinks, but I'm gonna tell you right now, the Aries energy would have been like, nigga, no, you should have. I no, very
Well,
possessive, very issues, just issues.
like I said, 11 years later, we're divorced. So it's a temporary work, but I really should have read, like this is the way that this man works. So yeah. Anyways,
Girl.
so how did you and your ex meet?
So actually, I'm in the military. I'm in the reserves, and I met his sister. Me and his sister were deploying together. We were the only black girls in the unit, so by natural default, we were gang gang. Like,
Period.
and we actually like really got along, and that's my nigga to this day. Uh, and so just as we were kicking it, like she kind of made a joke or a comment one time and was like, because I was a hotep then. Like I was, how old was I? I was 20. I was like a hotep. And she was like, yeah, my brother, like he be reading the same type of books. Y'all be talking about the same stuff. Like y'all should meet or whatever. And we became Facebook friends. And nothing like really came of it, but we had a going away ceremony. And like all of the families, they invited all the families to come stay at a hotel, like kind of do like a last thing before we went overseas. And so me and all my family was there. Of course, he was there. And like the first night that we met, we just walked, like we were walking outside talking. We were out the whole night, like just talking, vibing, and we just kept talking from there. We kept talking from there, and we still didn't like get into a relationship until towards the end of the deployment. And then when I came back, like I immediately got pregnant like a month after. I'm talking like we came back in May. I was pregnant by the end of June. Like June, July. It was and
Pump your
yeah,
brakes.
the rest is history. Yeah. So that is how we met.
Okay, well, that's actually very healthy. That's like a very healthy setting, very natural way for people to meet and vibe and have a connection.
Um yeah, it's crazy like now that I think about it because like I said, I was 20, he was 19 when we met. And
Mhm.
so we got married when I was 23. So he was 22. And so at the time, I wasn't thinking like, oh, we're so young. We were young as hell. Like we were
Yeah.
so we didn't know what we was doing. And ain't nobody got no healthy relationships in a family. So we was just really out here on some like, I love you, you love me, that's my man, and I'm sticking by him. Like we was really thugging it out. And not I should say thugging it out, but like it just blows my mind. Now these days everybody is talking about relationships online and how to have healthy relationships and everybody a guru about healing. Girl, we ain't know nothing. Nothing. And
Yeah.
we was in love.
It'll get you every time. That love,
Girl,
it'll get you every time.
girl. Yes. Call me slipping. I never I was never listen. I grew up in a tight group of friends. I grew up in church. Girl, I couldn't go to nobody's house that didn't go to my church. Like we were locked in tight. And
Right.
so, you know, most of everybody in the group expressed wanting to get married at some point. Some of them like had ideas and plans picked out and just needed a man to show up type of thing. I was never I was never the type I was like, yeah, when I get married. No, I figured, I may want kids someday, but marriage? Like forever?
One. Just
Like
one. Forever.
what if I don't like you anymore? Like and again I say, I don't my family doesn't we're not known for having healthy relationships. I was just like I can't see this happening. So when it happened, I was okay, I'm rocking with you, you rocking with me, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, don't necessarily think that that's a horrible thing either, just because like that's what essentially what you want in a relationship is somebody that you rock with and that rocks with you. Like we here. Like I think that that definitely is necessary. It's just now we know that there's so much more that comes with sustaining a relationship long term than just like I fuck with you, you fuck with me. Like
Yes.
that's not gonna cut it. That's not gonna cut it.
Baby, I'm gonna need more than a mental connection. Like, and no digs towards him or whatever. But like you said, like now when you think about it, like people still ask questions, which is crazy to me at our big age. But like, is love enough? No, it's absolutely not. It's absolutely not. And life be life, and so once you throw that in and like just not really having a guidebook or an
Hmm.
example. I mean, you can people do it all the time, but we wasn't those people. We
No, no. Like, well, and I'll even say like we started dating around about the same age that y'all did. We were 20, let's see, I was 21 and he was 23 when we or maybe I was 20. I think I was 21. Just turned 21 when we started dating. We didn't get married until I was 27. So,
yeah.
and even then with that much more like maturity, I'll say, it's still a big major part of marriage is the type of relationship, healthy relationship that you have with yourself. And like even I wasn't the same person at 21 that I was at 27, but I didn't have a good enough relationship with myself to be taking on a lifetime partner. And he didn't either. No disrespect to him and his journey or who he is, but like in retrospect, just looking back, if I would have paid attention to the way that he deals with stress, to the way that he deals with like unconventional circumstances, to the way that he deals with family, I would have been like, okay, this isn't really something that for a lifetime, like this isn't going to be healthy for me to have a partner that deals with things like this for a lifetime.
Yeah.
But instead, I was just like, I love him. I love him, and whatever it is, we will weather the storm. The storm gonna drown you. The storm gonna kick your ass. The storm gonna take you out, Miss Ma'am.
Okay. Listen, I saw a reel on TikTok probably last month sometime, and it was a lady. I don't know what her ethnicity was, but she had a heavy accent, a black lady, and she was like, people talk about, marriage is for better for or for worse, but I don't want the worst. I want the best for myself. Leave the worst over there. And I
Period.
was like, yo, like That's real. And one thing you said, like if you would have seen, kind of how he deals with stress and coping and things like that. One thing I will say about marriage is, a lot of times you don't know who you are until you get into a relationship with somebody. Like things about you start coming out, especially if you're self-aware. And I didn't really have any type of self-awareness in my marriage. Like I definitely was right all of the time, maybe like 98%. 99.9. Like I was definitely right all the time. I wasn't really open to hearing any critiques because I'm good, sir. You're the one with the issues. But girl, when I left Kansas, I left Kansas August 2018. That's when we first separated. And I moved to Maryland. Like from August to November-ish, girl, I was like depressed. I was like depressed and I was thinking about everything I had ever done wrong, like all of the traits about myself that, I learned that I saw that I displayed but didn't really see at the time. And I was just like, yo, you have issues. And not even like on some like, I'm the worst person in the world or whatever. But it was like, no, baby, like just like he has issues, you have issues too. Everybody does.
Absolutely.
And it was like months of looking in the mirror and like, oh my God, like he dealt with it. How did you do this, sir? Because I can't.
Like, I
And
want to leave myself. Yeah, at least you got out of the relationship. How do I leave myself?
yeah,
I want to break up with her.
it's funny you say that. But that was like a real thing because one thing I noticed is I didn't like being by myself. I love my alone time now, but I did not like to sit still. Like if I didn't have nothing going on, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that, or I was going stir crazy because I was just thinking, was having all the thoughts about just like, this thing came up in a relationship and this is probably linked to whatever issue from childhood, or like I started linking things.
Hmm.
And I will say, like, for the both of us, I think, like, if people were to ask him, he would say the same. Like, we definitely learned, like, triggers, like, what triggers are, how they work, things that we weren't healed from. All of this stuff came out in marriage. Like, and so now I think it's amazing that people are really, like, hyping up couples therapy, premarital therapy, just relationship therapy, self
Hmm.
like all of this stuff because you really don't realize, you know what I'm saying, just how much you are affecting yourself and then how you're affecting somebody else. Like, yeah.
Just literally dragging people.
Girl, like, and it's it's funny now because I saw something and it was just like, some people like to deal with other folks so they won't have to focus on their other on their own issues.
Hmm.
And so I'm like, yeah, like he was a really good distraction for, to keep me from realizing my coping mechanisms, trash, stress management, horrible, like communication skills, dumpster juice, and just was just like, I'm good, sir. I'm like, what? Have you
You are
seen?
not handling this well at all. And you're
No.
also not willing to listen to me tell you
Nope.
that you're not handling this well at all.
Because you can't tell me nothing. I'm good, sir. You, no, you have the problem. It's absolutely not me. And I'm offended that you would even suggest.
Oh my gosh. I just want to give your ex husband a hug because he was me and you are my ex. Like, literally. Oh, it was because I am one of those very self aware people. And so I'm just very much so like, okay, these are all of my problems, got to work on that. These are all of your problems, got to work on that. These are all the relationship problems. We got to come together and work on that. And he very much is just like, I feel totally fine with the way that I'm coping, the way that I'm dealing. If you're uncomfortable and you're having a problem, that's a you problem. And you need to get that together. I don't really need to do anything. You just need to work on that. And so then you'll feel like me.
Yeah.
Wasn't doing anything for anyone. It wasn't helping me, him, the relationship. All of it was just on fire. All of it.
Girl, like that describe me to a T. Yes, so I'm good. You have the problem, and the relationship problems are a result of your problems. So once you fix yourself, the relationship will benefit and will be good. Just go fix all of that, and I'll be here, but I'm good. I'll support you. I'll be your cheerleader, but there's nothing wrong with me.
Yeah.
Ugh. What? It's so
Well, one of the
now
things
it's
that I definitely did notice with, all of my like, okay, I'm self aware and I want to fix this about me, fix this about you, fix this about the relationship is my control issues. Like, I wanted to be able to control when we fixed what, how we fixed it, the amount of time that it was fixed, the way that he and I processed the things that needed to be fixed. Like, I wanted to have so much control and I wasn't allowing for a human being. Like, if we would have a disagreement or an argument, I would immediately want for an immediate result because I've been
yeah.
thinking about this for 2 weeks, processing it, laying it all out. Like, I got the perfect solution. And so I've already laid it all out to you. So I just need you to fall in line with the solution. And he's like, well, I've had 15 minutes to process this and think about it. And like, I need more time. No, I need you to get on board with it or our lives will crumble.
Drama much, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't is that a woman thing or cuz like I know in other another situation I was in that was something I heard often cuz I would think about stuff, it would marinate cuz sometimes I need to like process before I bring it to you. So that way when I bring it to you, I've said it in an unemotional, unraging way. Sometimes it doesn't work. But I like to take that time for myself to like, am I tripping, whatever, whatever. And then I bring it to you. And by the time I bring it to you, like you said, I've already thought about this for days, weeks. So here it is. This is what we're gonna do. Let's get to it. And it's like, you've been thinking about this for how long? It doesn't matter. I said I very much like to control. I like to control my environment. I like to control girl, I've always been the type of person, this is where my control issues extend. Like I was never the friend that would ride with anybody to the club. I'm driving every time. Cause when I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go. Like you're not finna tell me, oh wait, or nope. I'm never riding with you. Like I've always just I don't know. It got to be my way if I'm coming. Period. And that's
Oh,
not
I'm
really good.
definitely not driving because I'm about to be fucked up. I'm absolutely not driving. If we're picking straws to decide who's driving, just know that I'm like I'm cheating some type of way. I'm not driving. Do not rely
Girl, I
on
would
me.
have volunteered every time.
Thank goodness for Uber.
Yes, yes. Now we can just. I'm out. I'm ordering my ride. But girl,
Bye.
yeah. And I'm still working on my control issues. I'm nowhere near as bad as I used to be. Thank God.
Yeah.
But that's not
Yeah.
helping my relationship.
It's a process, but I think that it also stems from sometimes we want to control certain things because we've let go of control in certain areas.
Hmm.
So there's areas of my relationship where I felt like I had completely lost control and I just didn't have any say so at all. So I was a stay-at-home wife, basically. We owned a business and I ran the business, but the business was like, first couple of years of business, all the money you make goes back into the business. So I wasn't making any individual money of my own. Um, and so he was, the financial. head of household. He made the money. He had all the money, and he wasn't like you at the time. I wasn't thinking that he's using it as some form of control over me, but looking back on it, there was just certain areas like I had lost my ability to have control over financial decisions or find my own financial stability within the relationship. And so then that does something to your self-esteem and your confidence in the relationship. So now there's like other areas that, it's like a trickle down effect, because now I don't feel like I have as much control or much say so in the relationship in this area. So it again begins to break down my ability to say yes or no to certain things that I want or don't want. And then that's whenever you really start the process. It starts to sink in year after year after year of having
Mm-hmm.
that, where you start to lose, the core person that you are, because I'm not existing as my whole self in the relationship. And that becomes a huge problem.
When I first got, well, when we first moved in together, because we were shacking up before we got married, and I automatically, I don't know what it is, but like I automatically like clicked into this like Susie homemaker type thing, like, oh, I gotta make sure I'm cleaning, I gotta make sure I'm doing this, I gotta make sure I'm doing that. And of course those are things you would do regularly, but like for yourself, but it kind of went into overdrive. And thinking back, I was just like, who told me? And that was a thing we had where he was like, you'll feel a type of way about something, you'll take on all of this stuff, you won't communicate anything, and like by the time it comes out, you already feel like, you already feel slighted, you feel like I've done you some type of way. And so I think that contributed a little bit more because, like I said, I'm naturally need to be in control of my space and whatever. But I think that, like, which kind of was my fault, like, even contributed even more, like, well, my needs aren't being met in XYZ. So I have to make sure I'm good. I have to, like, the hyper independence type
Mm.
of thing. And, yeah, like you said, years and years of thinking that way, it deteriorates, it rots you a little bit, like your spirit and your mental start to deteriorate, and it causes a negative effect on your partner because like you're always carrying like this, I don't want to say animosity, but that really is what it is. Like you feel slighted all of the time.
Mm-hmm.
It never goes away. It might, y'all have a really good day, y'all vibing, y'all done went on a date or whatever, had a really good experience, went on a trip. So it takes a back seat, but it don't go nowhere because you haven't addressed it.
All it takes is
So,
for him to make one comment, and then it automatically will trigger that emotion, and we're back to square zero.
yeah, yeah. And then it gets to like well, I thought we were over this. I thought we were, no, nope, nope, nope.
Well, you thought wrong.
We still here, boo. Pull up the seat. We gonna be here a while.
Welcome to our trash can of a marriage.
Yeah, like what I will say, like that I did appreciate about my marriage, one is the self-awareness that I gained because I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it would have came eventually, but I don't know at what point I would have started, or realizing that Meese, you got some issues, dog. Like I don't know what, like my divorce really sparked off my healing journey, like my
Mm-hmm.
journey in self-awareness. So I don't know when it would have came.
It
And
would
that
have
was,
it would have maybe been some other like traumatic, drastic thing that happened in your life, but it maybe not. Maybe not.
yeah, I don't know, but that's one thing I appreciate. And I appreciate the fact that, we were actually, well, we are friends. Like, so even while we were at odds or about to separating, divorce, like we still, I ain't gonna say we was cool the whole time because, there's rocky periods, but still maintain our friendship. We have a kid together. So, I mean, we got to talk regardless. But that is one thing I appreciate, like marrying a friend, because marrying somebody, or let me just, kids, having kids with somebody who is your friend versus not, like, it makes a big difference in the type of experiences that you have. And I see a lot of women like expressing a lot of issues they have with their child's parent. I just be like,
Yeah.
thank you God, because I don't know. I don't anyway. But
No, I'm in total agreement with you on that about like there's so much that I do value and I do appreciate about my marriage. Um just the amount, I was very young and very naive. Like I came from a very, very small town. Whenever we got together, he exposed me to a lot of life, a lot of different lifestyles. And so it really did just kind of help to grow and evolve me on a level that I would not have gotten, had I just stayed in my little bubble in my hometown. Um, but that's like my biggest, I guess, regret about our divorce is that when we were together, we were such good friends. Like, definitely had that like best friend type of vibe. We're into the same conspiracy theories, we're into the same music, we're into the same movies. Like, it was just like a really good vibe. And so the thing that I regret the most is us not being able to salvage the friendship, through the divorce. When we were separated, we were still friends, but it was like the minute that I was like, I want to file the divorce papers, because he asked for the separation. I was heartbroken and devastated, but he didn't want to get the divorce, and he told me, he didn't want to get the divorce. He wasn't going to pay for it, and so I was like, I'll pay for it. I do. I know at this point in time, the way that things are looking,
yeah.
I want the divorce. Okay, sign on the dotted line. And from that moment on, everything went downhill, and I lost my best friend. Like, everything went downhill, and that was like the worst part, was healing through losing my best friend, and then also understanding that I was also losing like a family that I had grown to love, and that we had like grown to actually be family over 11, 12 years of being in each other's life. And we don't have that relationship anymore. I haven't talked to these people in like a year, year and a half. And that was really, really hard for me to understand that like these people love him because he's family, and you were tolerated because you were
Mhm.
with him. That was a real big it was a real big shot to my ego. I'm not gonna lie, because I definitely thought it was the other way around. They love me and they tolerate him because he's got his, he's like that. But no, they actually love him and they tolerated me. Weird.
A lot of ego in our personalities. A lot of ego. I will say that too. I mean, fortunately enough, like the family that I was a part of, I'm still a part of because, my daughter, but we definitely don't interact, on the level that we used to. And it was a humbling experience to realize, well, this is their son, this is they nephew, cousin, like you was just his wife. It may be another one of you. Like, wives come and go, cousins don't. And that's something, like, I always reference stuff that I've seen, but I remember, I'll never forget. It was like, stop treating, what did it say? It was something like, stop forgetting that your baby daddy's family is his family, like them not your people. And like I said, we're still good, but I'm like, that's some real stuff. Like, you really kind of do yourself a heartbreak thinking that these people ride for you like they ride for him, because when it come down to it, when it's you versus him, they gonna rock with him every time, as they should. But it
Yeah.
definitely is painful. It's not a nice experience at all.
No, doesn't feel good at all. But like having that perspective it definitely helps me like moving forward with other relationships. It helps me to have a more realistic idea of the kinds of relationship that I have with the people that I meet through him.
Yeah. So you said, I want to ask, like, when did you know it was time to divorce? And I think you kind of hinted on it when you was like, you guys have been separated, and you were just like, yeah, I'm gonna have to go ahead and legalize this.
It's
Like,
time for me to go ahead and slide out. We had been separated for a couple of months, and I realized that I needed to that I wanted to divorce him when I just realized that like he was becoming very blatant and very blunt with his disrespect towards me. Like he really was disregarding me, and he was no longer treating me like his partner and like a wife. He was, just I don't even know how to describe it, but it was more without like telling all of our business. I don't
yeah,
want to say too much, but it was basically like the lying. Like, and it's the lying and like you're not even covering your tracks and like making sure that the lie is plausible. Like, you're not even really trying. You're just lying to be lying. And I'm just like, why? Like, that
mhm,
was when I knew that, like, the friendship here doesn't even exist anymore. If this is how, even if you don't see me as your wife and as your life partner, and you're like, I don't want to try to work on the relationship, um, I have seen the way that you treat your friends, and you'll go to bat for your friends, you'll protect your friends, you will, you'll do incredible amounts of things for your friends. And you're not even extending that to me. I got to get the fuck out of here.
yeah.
I got to go where the love is, and it's not here. I'm putting in way too much time, energy, effort and emotion and literally getting nothing back. It's time for me to go.
That's hard to do. Like, I believe everyone should do it. Like, as soon as you realize that you are not where the love resides, you should head out. But like, it is hard, especially, when you've given somebody a decade of your life. Like, you've essentially spent your entire adult life with this person. And it's like, yeah, like, I can't change it. There's nothing I can do about it. I gotta head out.
Literally, I felt like Tyrese whenever he was crying on Instagram and he said, "What more do you want from me?" I'm like, "Damn, nigga, I gave you all of my 20s in the beginning of my 30s. What more do you want from me?" God damn,
Nigga, I
it
can
was
change it.
too much. It was too much. But it's really funny because after we separated, I filed the divorce and everything. I'm like going through like pictures and stuff in my phone. And it was like, they do those little time loop, time lapse things,
Hmm.
a year ago, this time, blah, blah, blah. I found in my phone a video that I had recorded maybe like a couple weeks after his birthday. It was a video that I recorded because he was a truck driver and he was on the road. It was a video I recorded that I never sent to him, where I was telling him that I wanted to separate and I wanted to split up, and I never sent it to him. I was crying. I looked horrible in that video, but I never sent it to him because I just didn't have the balls. I did
Yeah,
not know how, like, okay, if I send this to him and we do split up, like, what the fuck are you going to do, Autumn? You've
yeah,
literally been with this man for 10 years of your life. What the fuck are you going to do without him? You don't know how to live life without him. And so I never sent it. And then the universe literally, like, not even 6 months later, came through and rocked my shit. And we ended up splitting up anyway.
it's funny how that works. Like, when you're not doing what you need to do, you're not cutting the ties you need to cut, and then okay, you won't do it. Got you. Like, don't you worry.
Right. We could do this the easy way and you can leave on your own, or we could do this the hard way and I could try to drown you. It's whatever you want to do. Welcome
Yeah,
to the
I usually
Titanic,
take
nigga.
the hard way. Yeah, yeah. Um, I know for me, like, once I realized that it was time, we had talked about it a few times, and I was very conflicted because, like I said, we are such good friends. Like, we have so much in common. The man understands me, you know what I'm saying? Like, we were very much in sync, and I mean, like, I would be feeling a way about something, and he would text. I'm like, we ain't even around each other. Like, hey, you good? I was feeling blah 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 blah. How did you know? Like, very much type, that type of time. But it was just so much, so many things underlying, like so many small issues that built up over time. So much going on in life, a lot. And I wasn't even able to appreciate him or see him, as him, because now you're somebody that I got beef with. And I shouldn't say got beef, but I just can't see you the same. And so it was just like, okay, I don't want to continue for either of us to be unhappy, because we were both unhappy. Like, we both, very
Mm-hmm.
much wanted our family and stuff, but we were not healthy. Like, we were not healthy, just in life. And I don't even mean like to or for each other, but just as individuals. Like, everything that was just going on, we were just not healthy. And I was like, look, man, we got to take some time, go apart, get ourselves together, maybe become better people, and then maybe we can run it back, because this ain't it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is not. And I noticed, like, once we got into a space where it was like, okay, we don't function like that anymore. Now we're just co-parents. Now we're just friends. Like, I was really able to appreciate things about him, that I couldn't as his woman, because, sir, it's hard for me to appreciate your creativity when I'm mad at you about something else. It's hard for me
Mm-hmm.
to, like, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Don't care, dog. And so, like, once, I thought about like, maybe we should run it back in this snap. But I'm like, we are really good. Like, we were communicating, we function, we flow well. I see you in a better light. Like, I don't want us to run it back and run it straight to hell. Like, no, no. But it was hard. I mean, and I grew up, like I said, I grew up in church. And none of my mom, aunts, grandparents, nobody has been married like without a divorce. Like, my grandmother's
Mm-hmm.
second marriage, they stayed together until my grandfather passed away. But I was just like, we're gonna break generational curses, and we're gonna be the example. Did not manifest that. Did not do it. And it was hard because, like I said, we were young, and we was both hoteps, going to all like the little community meetings and stuff. So everybody's like, I see young black love and black family. And I felt like I had this responsibility to, like, stay together. And
Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes.
no,
Yes.
like, when we leave here, we're not happy. Like,
We're in here right now and we're beefing. Y'all don't know it, but we're beefing right now.
we're not gonna talk on the way home. like,
We didn't talk on the way here.
like,
Like that is a very real thing. And that was one of the things that used to piss me off low key. When people started to catch on to the fact that like we separated, we're not together anymore, I'm living in a whole different state, and they'd be like, oh my gosh, I just loved you guys together so much. You guys were such a cute couple, you guys were such a good couple. And I'm like, aesthetically you like the way that we look together maybe, but it really irritated me when people said that, because I'm like, that was my whole ass family. You think that I
yeah,
wouldn't have saved it if I could? You think that it
yeah,
wouldn't, like, don't don't do that.
yeah. You here for aesthetics? This is my life, man. Like, It's
And
not.
we were miserable together. Like, that man is not happy, I'm not happy, but when we go out in public, we want to put on a united front. You know,
Yeah,
we want to do right by the image of black love. You know, that's give people hope. And we over here hoping and wishing and praying to get the fuck out of this relationship.
girl, let me tell you, I after that, I remember like when I would talk to because I was still talking to hoteps after that. And like dudes would say, black family. I don't care nothing about no black family. I care about my family. I care about the people that live in my house. That is the black family that I care about. You're not going to put the responsibility or weight of some people on me that I don't even know, that don't pay my bills, are not pouring into me. I am good.
Yeah.
Like,
A lot of people don't realize how heavy that is when they say that and they put that on you. Like, it's already added pressure. Like, you, for example, you're already adding the pressure of, we're breaking the generational curse. You're putting that on yourself. That's just a personal thing that you're putting on
yeah,
your relationship. Then you got, all of society and the people around you, putting the pressure of black love and the black family on you, and raising strong, smart, intelligent hotep children. Like, please don't. Please don't say any of it.
no. And yeah, people really like be so tone deaf. Like, and it's like now that I'm a little older, I think about it. I just like, oh, people be saying whatever the hell they want to say. Like, I feel like you should have enough life experience to know, you know what? Maybe that was something that she really wanted. Maybe it bothers her that it didn't work out. Let me just shut my mouth. No, you guys look so good together, and I just really would. I wished to, but we're here now. Get out
Right.
my face. Like,
And
get
I'm
out my
currently healing through the loss of that relationship and the loss of that family unit. The last thing that I need is to hear you telling me that we looked good together. It's not helping right now.
yeah. Absolute freaking lutely not. Like, but that's why I think like having support when you're going through separation and divorce is imperative, because I definitely isolated myself. Like, I didn't um really talk to anybody about anything. One, because I just kind of felt like nobody would understand where I was coming from, because that's when I was having all the like, you effed up in this way, you did this wrong, like all of, I was just like
Mm-hmm.
really really hard on myself and had a lot of guilt and shame, because like now my black daughter doesn't grow up, all of this stuff, all in a world that hates single mothers. I am now a black single mother, so I really like a lot of guilt, and I isolated myself, and a nigga was depressed. I'm talking about, like, as soon as I get home from work, I pick that kid up from school, make sure she got something to eat. I am in bed like 6 o'clock, like with a whole kid, like repeatedly, a while, for months.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll never forget. I made a Facebook status. This was like my first like step into being transparent, like online. And I was just like, a lot of times, we feel like we're by ourselves, like we're the only ones going through whatever, whatever. And so many people popped up and it was like, oh my God, I feel like this too. Or people was inboxing me, showing me support and showing love. And I was just like, you mean these people was here the whole time? Like, all I had to do was, because I really needed to hear that, like, you're not a failure. Like, there is
Mm-hmm.
life after this. There, like, I really needed affirmations and all of those things. And yeah, months of surviving.
When
What
you
a
didn't have to. And that was probably like the biggest thing for me. I did the complete and total opposite. Me being a person who is like, vulnerability and intimacy, not my most comfortable feeling. It's not like the thing that I'm the best at. But when I was going through my separation and my divorce, like, I was like, well, I'm shit. I can do nothing now. So I'm leaning heavily on my circle, on my tribe. Like, I don't know where I would have been and how I would have survived if it wasn't for my tribe, my homegirls, my friends, you specifically, especially because I knew that you had gone through it before already. You were already divorced by the time
Mhm.
that I had, filed for my divorce. And so I just knew that, like, without me even verbalizing and really knowing what I'm feeling, you kind of already had an idea, and you really helped me to be able to sort out those feelings and emotions. And then I had other homegirls also who had been divorced, had been through it, and then some that hadn't. And just the support that we get from being able to come to a confident, confidential circle and express ourselves with no judgment, nobody telling you, like, that was a big thing for me, is that nobody was dragging him and like talking about what a horrible fucking person he was. You should have been done left that nigga and blah blah
Mhm.
blah. That was not gonna help me, in a when I'm in a point of heartbreak and devastation because I love this person, but we cannot be together.
Yeah.
So that level of vulnerability and having people that every single one of our conversations don't revolve around him and the divorce. We talk about so many other aspects of life, and it only gets brought up whenever I'm struggling and I'm going through something. Like, that made a huge difference, and it makes a really big difference for people to be able to understand that although you were a part of this union, you have a whole entire life outside of this relationship, and it is still going on, it's still functioning, it still needs you to be present, it still needs you to water the garden of it. And if you want to, you can add other things to it and expand in certain areas of your life. Now, since you don't have to go to the grocery store for, a house full of people, and you don't have to cook for multiple, like a whole entire family, now maybe you can take up painting.
Mhm.
Maybe you can take up ballet. Maybe you can start, learning how to edit videos or whatever the case is. Like, you can start really developing more of self. And that was really huge for me.
Yeah, that's really why women be thriving after breakups, because like we it may take us some time, but we are going to throw ourselves into something. Whether, like you said, whether it's picking up a passion you've always had, something you've always wanted to try. I mean, hell, why not? I'm already divorced. Why not? What I got to lose? Like
Exactly.
we are going to get active and do things that make us feel good, do things that further progress us in life. And I absolutely love that for us. Like, I absolutely, yeah, I think it's beautiful that, you reached out to your circle, because that's definitely not something that anyone should go through by themselves. And that's why, like, I'm a big advocate for divorce parties. I want to throw them someday, and not even like making a mockery of marriage, because I've seen somebody say that, making a mockery of marriage or whatever. Divorce is nothing to celebrate. Sometimes it is. Like, if you are leaving something that is making you unhealthy, that is taken away from you, that is not aligned with your life purpose, absolutely, let's celebrate. Good job for walking away from that. I know that was very hard for you to do.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, a lot of times you need things when you divorce, like, just like you need baby shower, wedding, registry.
Yes.
I gotta find a new place. I need a bed. I need a microwave. I
I
need a
need
couch.
dishes.
Like, yeah, yeah. And so I would really like to see more people going through it, like, with community, and like being celebrated just for one, surviving, and like being committed to their healing, their growth, and just navigating through life, because divorces are very, very common, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But it
And
is what
even
it is.
even if it's for, having a party or celebration for someone who maybe you're not the one who filed for the divorce, maybe you're not even the one that called for the separation, but there's there's never a wrong way to celebrate freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you decided that you were going to be free or somebody released you, you're free, and you should absolutely celebrate having your life and your freedom. So I'm 100% on board with the divorce parties. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, yeah.
I love a good party.
And hey, we can cry about it. We can hold hands. I'll stand by. Autumn gonna rub you back just like this.
Yep. Yep. I'm not going to cry. Janice will cry with you. Niece is going to do the crying.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the rubbing.
Yeah, we can talk, get some affirmations, a plan to move ahead, and check-ins. I think that's one part of like community too, like remembering to check up on people who are going through it, because like you said, we really, when we get married, we really throw ourselves like into it, becomes a lot of people's identity. Like
Hmm.
you go from whoever you are to now you somebody's wife, and some people really OD with it and lose themselves, and it's very hard like becoming a solo party again. So I would really like to see more people checking in, like checking on your homegirl, your cousin, or whoever like that's navigating life by themselves now.
Like having people to check in with is a big thing on all at levels and aspects of your life, mental, emotional, financial, spiritual, all of the things. And Mies and I have launched a accountability program for Girl Talk and Chill because we're each other's accountability partner, and we've been doing a pretty awesome job at it. I think we're kicking ass at it, and so we wanted to spread that to the group. We wanted to make you guys a
Yes.
part of that.
Yes. So we have curated a 6-week accountability partner program. And basically, everything that you said you was gonna do in 2022, 2021, 2020, 2019. Can I count? Maybe not. But
2015, 2012, you were saying it back then too.
those things, some of us still have them on our to-do list. And so we're picking one goal to zone in on for 6 weeks, because that's a problem for a lot of us, trying to do too much at one time and get nothing done. And we're going to have weekly group check-ins. We're going to match make you with another dope creative Black woman, and you all can check in as often as you would like. You're also getting a guidebook on our version of goal setting, our methods, and affirmations that you can speak over your life and yourself throughout the 6 weeks and beyond. And we're giving a prize at the end. We are giving a prize to the most dedicated person who shows up, getting stuff done, and is committed to doing something different. And this is really going to positively affect everyone who signs up and completes the program. Because when we get stuff done, we feel better about ourselves. Like, it's the beginning of the year still. Let's set the tone for the rest of 2023 and just like knock it out.
Knock it out of the park. We think this is also a really good way for us to be able to build community, to find, your building your tribe, building your circle. And on top of that, like once you start knocking things off of your to-do list, it enhances the way that you view yourself. When you have a better relationship with self, you are able to cultivate better, healthier relationships with others, romantic, platonically, people in your family, all of the things.
Yes, 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 yes. So we have a survey that we are having everyone complete so we can match you up with the right person. So be honest. God is watching. No, be
And if you are not already in the Facebook group, there is going to be a link to the Facebook group in the description for this podcast episode. Go ahead, join the Girl Talk and Chill group, because that's where we do a lot of our key king. We do a lot of our
yes.
motivational, conversations. We're going to start going live more often in the group as soon as I get out of Facebook jail. y'all, Mark, that's another story for another day. But
Can't
I
say I
stay
jumped
in
stay
jail.
for life.
I'm a real nigga. What can I say?
It's
But
that.
join the Facebook group so that you can get to know a lot of the other women that are in the group. I think now we are almost to 100 members. We are
We are
getting.
at 100.
We're at 100 members. We're
Yes.
at 100 members now. Y'all
Yes.
really fuck with the girls. Y'all really do. Should I give a Beyonce speech right now? All right, I'm gonna save it. I'll save it for when we get to 250.
Yes, yes, yes. The group is growing. The podcast, you guys are really supporting us. You're sharing it. The views are going up. We really appreciate you guys. It's all love here with us for you. So yeah, come back next week because we're definitely talking about the dating game. A lot of people say that there is pee in the dating pool. Is it? I don't know. Let's talk about it. And yes, make sure you click the link in the description to join the Facebook group and to sign up for the program. Treat yourself
Period. Tell
and
a
your friends.
homegirl, tell a homegirl, tell a homegirl, and bring a friend. All right, guys, we love you.
Bye.